Welcome to the world of Stile Board, the ultimate waterproof tile backer-board bathroom system. In this comprehensive guide, we will introduce you to the remarkable benefits of Stile Board and take you through a step-by-step installation process. Get ready to discover the future of bathroom and waterproof construction. At the core of the Stile Board system lies its exceptional material, extruded polystyrene. This advanced material offers unparalleled performance in wet environments. With its closed-cell structure, Stile Board provides superior waterproofing capabilities, ensuring long-lasting protection against moisture, mold, insects, and water damage. Being Code Mark certified, Stile Board complies with the highest Australian industry standards and regulations, giving you peace of mind that you're investing in a reliable and safe product for your construction. Stile Board features a patent-pending shower recess system that allows for flexibility when it comes to working with different drain locations. No matter where your drain is positioned, Stile Board provides a solution that fits, making it easier than ever to customize your shower design. The system has been designed for effortless installation and superior strength. Stile Board provides a solid foundation for your tiles, ensuring excellent adhesion and reduces the risk of cracks or loose tiles over time. With Stile Board, your tiles will remain securely in place, delivering a flawless and long-lasting finish. Its materials are also eco-friendly and have thermal insulating properties. Stile Board acts as a thermal barrier, minimizing heat loss, helping you create a more comfortable and cost-effective environment. And now, the installation process. Later in this video, our step-by-step guide will take you through each stage in detail, providing clear instructions and helpful tips along the way. Here is a quick outline of what to expect. To begin, we will cover the preparation stage, where we will discuss the tools and materials you'll need to gather before starting the installation. This includes preparing your workspace to ensure an easy and efficient Stile Board installation. Remember, preparation is key. Next, we will move on to the installation of shower recess floors with floor wastes and linear drains. We will demonstrate how to properly position and secure the floor wastes and linear drains to ensure efficient water drainage. Afterward, we will focus on wet area floors using the flat floor panels and the four-way slope panel. We will show you how to install and align the slope panel correctly, ensuring a level and stable surface for your wet area. And then we will delve into the installation of the wall panels and framing, also addressing the challenges of accommodating downpipes or baths. You will learn how to properly frame and secure the wall panels, creating a sturdy and secure foundation for your wall tiles. Finally, we will cover the crucial steps of sealing up joints and waterproofing. The process of applying sealants and waterproofing materials ensures a watertight installation, preventing any potential leaks or water damage. Stile Board's design combines style, durability, and functionality, all while ensuring the highest standards of waterproofing and safety. So, get ready to embark on your journey with Stile Board. Follow this easy-to-understand installation guide, where we'll provide you with all the information you need to install the Stile Board system with confidence and precision, and experience the innovation and reliability that Stile Board brings to your construction. The future of waterproof construction starts here with Stile Board. In this video, we will guide you through the tools you'll need to successfully install the system. Please make sure to gather all the necessary tools and materials before beginning the installation process. The tools required for the installation are as follows. A circular saw and track will be used to cut the Stile Board to the desired size. We recommend one with a vacuum attachment to help control the dust and keep your workspace clean. The linear support jig will help guide the router and assist you in preparing the recess for your preparation of the puddle flange for the linear support. The blower is a handy tool and is used to remove any dust particles and debris from the installation area. Next, we have a measuring tape. This essential tool helps you measure and mark your cuts and levels accurately. For maintaining precise levels, we recommend using a laser level. This tool projects a straight and level line onto the surface, allowing you to mark the levels of the water stop angles and stud frames accurately. In some cases, you may need clamps to hold down the Stile Board securely while using other tools. A level is crucial for marking straight edges and checking the levels on floors and walls. A large utility knife is essential for scoring and cutting the Stile Board with precision. A router is recommended for shaping the edges of the Stile Board to create the recess at the floor and wall junctions. A vacuum attachment helps maintain a clean working environment. Keep a vacuum on hand to clean up any dust or debris created during the installation process. A sandpaper block is useful for smoothing out rough edges or surfaces. A multi-tool can be used for various tasks during the installation, such as making small adjustments. An impact driver will come in handy for securing screws into framed walls. A masonry drill is required for drilling holes in the brick walls in preparation for the mechanical fixing. You'll need a hammer for tasks like driving in mechanical fixings into the brick wall. A mixer and trowel are essential for preparing and applying adhesive or mortar. A caulking gun will be used to apply sealant around the edges of the stile board. Plastic, flat and corner scrapers are used to tool the sealant into the corners or joints as well as removing excess sealant. A metal scraper is used when applying the fibre mesh to the joints. A workhorse or similar support is recommended for holding the stile board securely during cutting or other tasks. A hole saw with various sizes is necessary if you plan to create openings for fixtures or outlets. A paintbrush and mini roller will be used to apply the waterproof membrane to the joints. Lastly, but most importantly, don't forget your safety gear. Ensure you have eye protection, earmuffs and a dust mask to keep yourself safe throughout the installation process. Now that you have all the necessary tools at hand, you can begin preparing the materials. To determine the number and types of panels you'll need, as well as the necessary accessories like sealants, washers, angles and more, visit our website. We have a convenient virtual estimating tool that will help you calculate your requirements accurately. Just import your project details and it will provide you with a comprehensive list of recommended materials. Once you have your materials list ready, gather the following items to prepare for your installation. Stile Board waterproof tile backer board panels. Ensure you have the correct number and types of panels as indicated by the virtual estimating tool on our website. You will need specified sealants to ensure a watertight installation, depending on your project requirements. Refer to the virtual estimating tool for the recommended sealants and quantities. Mechanical fixings, washers and screws are essential for securing the panels in place. Make sure you have enough based on the number of panels you'll be installing. Ensure you have a puddle flange of an appropriate size to accommodate the drain size. This will be inserted into the linear or floor waste support and secured into the drain with the PVC adhesive. Angle profiles are required if your project involves a shower recess that requires step-downs and water stops at doors. Again, the virtual estimating tool will provide guidance on the required types and quantities. By gathering these materials and tools before you start your installation, you'll ensure a smooth and efficient process. If you have any questions, refer to the installation manual or consult a professional for guidance. Happy installing! Step 1. Preparation. Let's dive in. Before beginning any installation, proper preparation is crucial. Ensuring a clean and obstruction-free substrate will result in a clean installation and a strong bond. If your project is a new build instead of a renovation, a lot less preparation work is required, and so most of the following steps will not be needed as long as the stile board is taken into account with the design phase. Start by removing any bulges or obstructions on the floors and walls. Clear away any leftover render, nails or stud adhesive. For floor slabs or boards, clean off any waterproof membrane residue. Next, determine the correct finished floor height. Place a laser in the center of the room and measure the levels to determine the highest point. Mark these levels on the substrate. If there is a maximum 3 mm variation, no self-leveling is required, and adjustments can be made with the adhesive. However, if the variation exceeds 3 mm, it's best to level the floor. To level the floor, set packers as an indication for the desired finish height. Let's say the highest point measures 387 mm. Install packers around the room, all set to 387 mm. Use packer thicknesses as needed to achieve the correct height. Now, let's move on to setting the water stop angles. Determine if your shower is frameless or has a framed or semi-frameless design. For PVC angles, set them 10 mm above the finished floor level at the shower recess. For aluminium angles, a 1.6 mm thick angle will suffice. Consider whether a step down is needed in the shower recess. If so, adjust the angle height accordingly, 55 to 60 mm for a standard 10 mm porcelain tile, or 45 to 50 mm if no step down is necessary. Set out the angle to the design and size of the shower, then begin to mark and cut the angles to the appropriate sizes. When setting the angles, ideally ensure that the internal bottom part is level with the packers. Additionally, install the shower angle with the bottom angle facing out of the shower recess. After completing these steps, it's time to begin the self-leveling process. Start by blocking off any gaps in the internal corners or angles to contain the self-leveling material. Expandable foam or sealant can be used for this. Before applying the self-leveling compound, prime the substrate with the correct primer compatible with the product. Ensure that the self-leveling compound is mixed correctly according to the manufacturer's instructions. Begin applying it at the lowest point, indicated by the packers, as they are the thickest. Slowly work the compound from that point to the top of the packers and angles. Congratulations, your preparation work is now complete. With a well-prepared substrate, you can be confident that the next steps of installing the Stile Board system will be easy and effective. Step 2. Shower recess floor installation. Let's get started. Firstly, determine if a linear drain or floor waste will be used in the shower recess. If a floor waste is specified, a 4-way slope panel will be required. The 4-way slope panel has a consistent 1:80 fall ratio from all 4 sides towards the drain. The drain cutout is located in the center of the panel, so the drain should be positioned near the center of the shower recess. Determine the appropriate size of the 4-way slope panel that fits well into the allocated shower recess space. For example, if the shower recess is 980 by 980, a 1200 by 1200 panel is required. The thickness of the panel will depend on whether a step down is needed. If the shower screen is frameless, a 30mm thick panel is required. Place the floor waste support at the drain location and ensure the puddle flange also fits into the drain. Measure the distance from each mark to the wall or angle on all 4 sides. Transfer these measurements to the Stile Board 4-way slope panel and then mark them with a ruler. Use a circular saw to cut along the marked lines. Now, let's consider the scenario where single slope panels will be applied to the shower floor. Measure and mark out the single slope panel with the 20mm thick edge positioned at the floor waist, leaving a 238mm gap to accommodate for the linear support. The location of the floor waist will determine the size of the single slope panels needed. Begin the 20mm thickness at the width of the linear support, which is typically 238mm, including a 1mm gap on both sides. The single slope panels have a consistent 1:80 fall ratio, starting at 20mm thickness and increasing up to the desired finish span. They're available in these 4 sizes, providing flexibility in panel selection and minimizing wastage. Next step is the linear support installation. Measure the appropriate length required and cut to fit. Measure and mark out the hole for the drain position and use the hole saw to drill out. The drain in the shower should be 100mm. Then router using the linear support jig provided to prepare for the Stile Board puddle flange. Set the depth to 4mm into the 8mm base as shown. After measuring and marking, router the perimeter of the floor-to-wall panel junctions on the 4-way slope panel or single slope panel. Ensure to clean the routed edges with a blower to remove any dust, allowing the sealant to adhere properly. Mix the adhesive recommended by suppliers like Ardex, Mapai, RLA or Sika. Trowel on the adhesive onto the substrate by using a 10mm or 12mm trowel depending on the tile thickness. Apply the specified Stile Board sealant to the edges of the drain support and water stop angle where the 4-way slope panel or single slope panel will meet. Adhere the panels to the substrate and, once installed, remove any excess sealant from the joints to keep the surface clean. You may now install the Stile Board puddle flange into the routed drain hole with the Stile Board specified sealant. Step 3. Wet area floor panels and 4-way slope panel installation. When installing the floor panels, it is crucial to perform a set-out, just like with tiles. This allows you to visualize the best scenario and to minimize cutting and joints. Firstly, position the four-way slope panel along with the floorway support system at the drain location. The size of the four-way slope panel will depend on the positioning of the drain and the size of the tiles to be used. For example, if small format tiles are being used, a larger four-way slope panel may be required. Also, consider if the drain location is centered, as this allows for the use of a larger four-way slope panel. Ensure that the Stile Board puddle flange fits into the center of the pipe. Measure and mark onto the four-way slope panel the cuts. Now you can measure and mark the surrounding floor panels. It is very important to keep the wall levels in mind when working out the cuts at the perimeters, in case the walls are out of level and more packing is required at the bottom of the wall panels. Then the floor panels will need to accommodate for this and be cut in line with the level wall panels. Use the appropriate floor panel thickness. 30mm thick panels are usually used if no step down is required. If a step down into the shower recess is required, you will need a 40mm thick panel. The four-way slope panel will also follow the same thickness. Cut the floor panels using the circular saw along the marked straight lines. For any detailed cuts, you can finish off the corners with a large blade utility knife. Ensure clean and tidy cuts to ensure a proper seal between the panel joints. Measure and mark any pipe penetrations onto the board. Use a core drill to carefully drill out the holes for the pipes. Next, you'll need to router all the edges where the wall panel will meet the floor panel. Start by marking the floor panel where the edge will require a router. Set the router to the thickness of the wall panel plus a few extra millimeters, with a depth of 12mm to create a recess for the wall panel. Carefully router the edges. Clean the routed edges with a blower to remove any dust, ensuring optimal adhesion of the sealant. It's important to allow a few millimeters for gaps between panels to accommodate sealants in the joints, but not too much. The goal is to maintain a good seal, and the best way is to have tight joints with more XPS than sealant. Mix the adhesive recommended by suppliers like Ardex, Mapai, RLA or Sika. If you're working on one bathroom and prefer to install the wall panels the same day, we recommend using a fast set adhesive. Trowel the adhesive onto the substrate using a 10mm to 12mm trowel, considering the thickness and finish floor level at the aluminium angle water stops. Before installing the floor panels or the four-way slope panel, apply the specified sealant to the edges that will meet the other floor panels or the four-way slope panel. Ensure a proper seal by applying a thick and consistent bead of sealant all the way to the corners and around. Now it's time to begin installing your floor panels, following the set out and marked guidelines. Clean off any excess sealant. Great job! You've made significant progress in the installation process. In the next step, we will continue with the wall panel installation. Step 4. Wall panel installation. In Step 4, we will cover the installation process for the wall panels, ensuring a strong foundation for your tile project. The first step in installing the wall panels is selecting the correct thickness based on your wall type. For framed walls with 450mm centers, use the 12.5mm thick panels available in 900 by 2400mm size. For 600mm centers, opt for the 15.5mm thick panels, which come in 1200 by 2400mm size. On level and clean brick walls, you will have the option to use the 8mm panels with the trowel-on method only. Or you may use the 12.5mm or 15.5mm thickness by spot fixing adhesive along the mechanical fixing. Once you have the right panels, it's time to work out the set-out and configuration. For critical waterproof areas like the shower recess wall, it's best to minimize joints as much as possible. With the set-out planned, you can now begin cutting the panels to the required sizes and cutouts. Start by measuring and marking the wall panels, then carefully cut along the marked lines using a utility knife or circular saw, whichever is more convenient. You can use a sandpaper block to clean up any imperfections on the edges. If you have pipe penetrations, measure and transfer them onto the wall panels. Use a hole saw to create the necessary holes. When it comes to drilling into the wall, especially with plumbing pipes behind it, precision is key. You don't want to accidentally puncture a pipe. There are two methods you can choose from. The first is measuring and transferring the mark directly onto the wall panel. Simply locate the position of the pipes, carefully measure their distance from the edges, and mark those points on the Stile Board. The second method is using a smartphone. Simply take a quick photo of the wall, making sure the pipes are clearly visible. Then, using any photo editing app, mark the drilling points right onto the image. This way, you have a visual reference that ensures you won't accidentally hit any pipes when drilling. When installing onto framed walls, use the galvanized screws provided, along with the galvanized Stile Board washers. It's important to consider the tiling process and ensure the panels are level. Keep packers on hand to assist in leveling the Stile Board wall panels. Install them onto the frames with 300mm spacing, as outlined in the installation manual, using the washers and screws. At times, you may have to consider adding more frames or noggings where the panels may overhang the studs to accommodate. Stile Board niche boxes are also an added bonus to the wall panels. They come in 4 sizes and can be easily installed. The frames may have to be adjusted to accommodate for the selected size. On brick walls, it is best to check the levels before installing the panels. This way you can work out where to apply more adhesive onto the back of the wall panel. Use the specified adhesive and galvanized mechanical fixings provided. Leveling the Stile Board wall panels on brick walls is easier. Spot fix the panels at a minimum of every 300mm centers, and once the adhesive is set, mechanically fix them at 600mm centers. Along with installing the wall panels, it's crucial to apply the specified sealant at the critical waterproof junctions. These include floor-to-wall junctions and all joints within the shower or basin area, including any pipe penetrations. Ensure consistency in application and apply the sealant to both sides so that when sandwiched between the panels, it protrudes to the top. After installing the panels, remove any excess sealant by smoothing it off. Finally, run a thin bead of silicone over the joints at critical waterproof areas, including the junctions between floors and walls. Use the Stile Board flat or corner tool to smear the thin bead sealants into the joints. While the sealant is still wet, immediately apply the self-adhering fiberglass mesh to all the joints, both on the floors and the walls. Make sure to cover every joint carefully, including the joints in other areas, as this will help reinforce the waterproofing system. Take your time and apply even pressure to ensure proper adhesion of the mesh. This will help create a strong bond that prevents any potential leaks or cracks in the future. In addition, we'll show you how Stile Board's innovative system saves you from needing another trade. Framing up walls to accommodate a niche, frame up a bath, or cover a drain pipe usually requires a carpenter, adding another trade to the project. But with the Stile Board system, you can eliminate that extra step. The Stile Board panel is structural, allowing you to frame up a downpipe, bath, or niche yourself. In this video, we will guide you on how to frame up a downpipe. The same process can be used for baths or niche walls, as well as many other scenarios. Let's get started. Let's look at the scenario where there is a downpipe. Begin by allowing a recess in the floor panel, preferably by using a multi-tool or a knife. Remember, the panel thickness should be between 30mm and 50mm, depending on your preference and requirements. Measure and cut the panels to the appropriate size required for your project. Take the time to ensure accurate cuts, as precision is key for a successful installation. Now it's time to attach the panels together. Use the Stile Board specified sealant at all the adjoining edges, bottom, sides and top. This sealant will provide a watertight and secure bond between the panels, ensuring long-lasting durability. Finally, top off any excess sealant at the joints to keep the installation clean and tidy. By taking this extra step, you'll achieve a professional finish that's not only visually appealing, but also enhances the overall performance of the Stile Board system. With Stile Board, it is now that easy to successfully frame up a downpipe. Remember, this versatile system can be applied to various applications, providing structural support and water resistance. With Stile Board, you can save time and money by eliminating the need for additional trades. Congratulations on reaching the final step of your Stile Board system installation. Step 5. Waterproofing joints. Before we begin, please ensure that the sealant applied in the previous step has cured. It's important to give it enough time to set properly before moving on to this stage. The sealant should be touch dry before applying the membrane. Once all the joints have been covered with the fiberglass mesh, you can proceed with applying the specified waterproof membrane over the joints, paying special attention to the critical waterproof areas. Using a brush or small roller, apply the waterproof membrane evenly over the joints. Be thorough and make sure all the mesh is covered with an overlap, leaving no gaps or exposed areas. Ensure the correct thickness is applied. This will further enhance the water resistance of your installation. And now you're finally ready for tiling. With the Stile Board system in place, you can have confidence in the durability and waterproofing of your tile installation. Remember, a well-executed installation ensures not only the longevity of your project, but also the peace of mind you deserve. Thank you for choosing the Stile Board system, and happy tiling. For more information or further assistance, please visit our website or contact our customer support team. Stile Board, sealed with a lifetime guarantee.